Welcome to our three-part video series about our trip to Peru in July of 2017. My parents and I, representing the Peru Fund, visited 4 different projects that our organization has contributed to. And now that we are back, we would like to share our experience with you. We arrived in Atalaya on July 14th in the afternoon and checked into our hotel. This became our home base as we visited the various projects over the next 3 days. Atalaya has a population of about 25,000. In the past, you could only get there by boat or by plane, but over the last few years, a road was built from Setibo, located 7 hours to the west, giving Atalaya a more direct connection to the outside world. As this road is still new, there are very few cars on the streets of Atalaya. Instead, the streets are mostly filled with moto taxis, which make for a bumpy ride but are pretty fun to travel in. For our visits to each of the projects, we traveled with a small group. My mom, my dad, and myself were accompanied by Andre Franch, based in Montreal, Executive Director of Wings of Hope, Elizabeth Arias, Project Manager for Wings of Hope, based in Lima, William Serran, the Wings of Hope engineer in charge of the clean water projects we visited, Darinka Papia Diaz, the Wings of Hope liaison to all the projects in the Atalaya district, where she lives and teaches, Felipe Ruiz Vasquez, who works part-time for Wings of Hope, transporting people and supplies to the villages. He would be our navigator for the time we spent on the river. And finally, Father Rosendo, a local priest who works with 240 jungle villages in the area north of Atalaya. We set out the next morning by boat for our first stop, the village of Largarto, Millar, located half an hour north of Atalaya. Atalaya is a small port city located just south of the merging of 2 rivers, Tambo and Urubamba, both of which are tributaries to the Amazon River. The city is a hub for the transportation of people and supplies for hundreds of miles up and down the river. From the water, we had a great view of the docks and all the activity going on around them, as well as the jungle, which was on all sides of us as we made our way to Largarto Millar. Once we landed at our destination, we continued on towards the village about an hour's walk away through the jungle. The project in Largarto Millar is one of 2 projects the Peru Fund is supporting in 2017 and will be featured in the Peru Fund's 2018 newsletter. The only access to water that the community has now is from a river located at the bottom of a very steep embankment. This makes it difficult and dangerous for the villagers to collect the water, especially for the elderly and the children. Walking through the jungle was an amazing experience. It really gave me a sense of how these villagers lived and the place they called home. When we arrived, we were greeted by a couple of the villagers as well as some small children, but learned that most of the adults were out working in the fields. We were then taken on a tour of the village. Largarto Millar is home to 32 families, with a total population of about 130. As we walked around, we encountered a 4-year-old boy named Radar, coming back from the river, carrying water for his family. The fact that such hard work was required of him at such a young age was deeply moving for us to see, and put into perspective the importance of the project and the many ways it'll improve the lives of the people in the village when completed. It was a pleasure to meet him, and when we asked if the water he was carrying was too heavy, he simply said, no. The new water system will tap into 4 springs located in various places along the nearby river and will be collected into a reservoir, then pumped up the embankment to the village. There, the water will be distributed to concrete sinks with spigots placed outside each home. This system was designed by William Serran, the engineer in charge of the project. We also attended a meeting with the village water committee. Quite a few people got up and spoke, sharing their stories of commitment and excitement for this new water system. It was inspiring to see how active and involved the village was in their own project, willing to take on any work involved if it meant the betterment of their community. To see the need in the village firsthand, and to meet the people that will benefit from the new water system, really made me feel like our work would be making a difference, on a level I had not had the perspective to appreciate before actually being there. We hope you enjoyed this video. To learn more about the Peru Fund and to find out how you can lend your support, please check out the description box below for links to our website and Facebook page. We look forward to seeing you again for part 2. Until next time, guys. Hasta tarde, mis amigos.